Imagine confronting life's deepest struggles, loss, heartache, uncertainty, and not just getting through them, but growing stronger because of them. This isn't a story from centuries ago or a relic of dusty books. It's a mindset that could reshape your life right now. I'm talking about Stoicism, not a quick fix, but a way of being that turns hardship into strength and fear into courage. Stoicism doesn't promise a painless life. What it offers is something more powerful, a path to clarity and resilience amidst the chaos. Think about it. When the world constantly pulls you toward instant gratification and never-ending wants, what if the real key to happiness lies in simplicity, in gratitude, in mastering what you can control instead of worrying about what you can't? This isn't some trendy hack or a motivational buzzword. It's an ancient, time-tested way of life followed by thinkers, warriors, emperors, people who knew suffering and chose wisdom over despair. If you've ever felt lost or overwhelmed, or even just curious about how to live well, then stay with me. Let's explore the heart of Stoicism together and rediscover the timeless guidance of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. This might just be the insight you didn't know you needed. And one thing, don't skip around. If you're watching or reading this, it's for a reason. Maybe you're different. Maybe you're ready. So act like it. Absorb every part of this message. Lesson 1. Put people first. In a world where success is often measured by wealth, fame, or possessions, Marcus Aurelius showed us something radically different. Imagine having the entire Roman Empire under your command. Every pleasure, every comfort, just a command away. Yet, when a deadly pandemic threatened his people, Marcus didn't hide behind palace walls. Instead, he stepped forward in humility. He sold off his own belongings, symbols of imperial status and divine power, not for show, but to help those suffering. His actions weren't for attention, they were for survival, for solidarity. This wasn't Stoicism as theory, it was Stoicism in motion, a philosophy that champions courage, justice, wisdom, and moderation came to life through his leadership. Marcus showed that true power lies not in control, but in compassion, that the richest life is not measured in gold, but in virtue. He wasn't alone in this belief. Aristotle spoke of fulfillment through virtuous action, through using reason to serve others and better the world around us. Plato imagined the ideal leader as a philosopher king, someone guided not by ego but by wisdom and the well-being of their people. When we lead with empathy, especially during hardship, we don't just offer help, we offer hope. Marcus Aurelius didn't lead with fear or dominance. He led with service, sacrifice, and an unwavering sense of duty to the common good. That's real leadership. Lesson 2. There's always another way. Have you ever felt stuck, like every road leads to a dead end? It's a heavy feeling, one that can cloud your judgment and crush your spirit. But here's where Stoicism flips the script. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, they all taught that obstacles aren't the end of your journey. They're the beginning of something new. Every roadblock is a redirection. Every setback is a test of who you are and who you might become. The Stoics believed that while we can't control everything that happens, we can control how we respond. And that belief, it changes everything. Because when you shift your mindset from victimhood to empowerment, from despair to curiosity, the world opens up again. It's not always easy. The new path might challenge you, stretch you, or even break parts of you, but it will also rebuild you. It might ask you to develop skills you never imagined needing, or find strength in parts of yourself you've forgotten. Even Aristotle, though not a Stoic, shared this spirit. He once said that the aim of art isn't just to show things as they are, but to reveal their deeper meaning. That's what life's obstacles do. They force us to see beyond the surface, to find purpose in pain. And Socrates? He taught us to question, especially our assumptions. If you think your path has ended, maybe you haven't asked the right questions yet. Maybe you're reacting, not reflecting. This Stoic truth, that there is always another way, isn't just about bouncing back. It's about transformation. Life's challenges are not detours. They are the road. When you stop resisting them and start learning from them, you begin to live not just with resilience, but with intention. So whether you're facing a personal storm or just searching for something more, remember this: the Stoics weren't superhuman. They were people like you and me, flawed, scared, often uncertain. But they chose to meet life's chaos with calm and its cruelty with character. You can too. And maybe, just maybe, that's where your journey begins. They challenge us. They shape our character, test our resolve, and ultimately help us grow into who we're meant to be. Life's difficulties serve as reminders. While we can't always choose what happens to us, we always have the power to choose how we respond. Lesson 3. Progress comes one step at a time. In today's world, it's easy to get trapped in an endless loop of planning, envisioning, and waiting for the right time to act. We hold off on starting the book, launching the business, or making that life change, thinking there will be a perfect moment to begin. But Marcus Aurelius offers a powerful truth wrapped in simplicity. Knowing isn't enough. We must do. It's not just about aspirations, it's about action. Intentions and ideas are important, but they only gain value when they're followed by movement. Real, tangible steps forward. Procrastination is progress's greatest enemy. For the Stoics, this was central. Living in alignment with nature meant more than admiring the world. It meant embracing our nature as thinking, deciding, acting beings. Marcus wasn't just a philosopher, he was a Roman emperor, responsible for decisions that shaped the lives of millions. His wisdom is grounded in experience, not theory. He knew that real growth doesn't happen in thought alone, it happens in the doing. So how do we fight inertia? How do we move from dreaming into action? The answer? Start small, but start now. Even the greatest journeys begin with a single deliberate step. This isn't just Stoic advice, it echoes across traditions. Aristotle taught us that we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, he said, isn't a singular act, but a habit. It's built in the quiet repetition of daily effort. Plato taught that when we act in harmony with our values, we live rightly. This harmony between thought and action is at the core of Stoicism. It's not the dramatic, sweeping moves that define our lives, but the consistent small actions taken each day. When we align those actions with our highest ideals, we inch closer to the life we're meant to live. Patience and persistence are key. Whether you're improving your health, starting a creative project, or trying to make the world better. What matters is that you begin and then keep going, one step at a time. Lesson 4. Let go of anxiety. In quiet moments, when the noise of the world fades, we're often left alone with our thoughts. And for many, those thoughts are filled with anxiety. Marcus Aurelius came to a profound realization. Our anxiety doesn't come from external events, but from within ourselves. This isn't just a personal insight, it's a cornerstone of Stoic thought. Peace, the Stoics teach us, comes from mastering our inner world. Anxiety, then, is not something the world gives us, it's something we create. And if we create it, we can choose to release it. We may not be able to control events, but we can control our response to them. We can choose what we give our energy to. This recognition is liberating. So how do we put this into practice? Start by recognizing that most anxiety is rooted in our desire to control what we cannot. We worry about the future, about what others think, about outcomes that aren't in our hands. Marcus reminds us, these are not our concern. They lie beyond our influence, and we owe them no mental real estate. Plato said, "Know thyself." Self-awareness leads to self-mastery. When we understand our triggers and thoughts, we can examine them with clarity, question their power, and begin to dissolve their grip. Socrates called us to examine our lives. When we examine our anxiety, not just feel it, we can see it for what it is, often irrational, often unfounded, and almost always within our ability to reshape. Discarding anxiety doesn't mean pretending we feel nothing. It means observing our emotions without becoming them. It means choosing not to let fear or worry govern us. Letting go is not about weakness. It's about strength. It's about reclaiming the energy we give to fear and redirecting it toward growth and purpose. Lesson 5. Begin with intention. Marcus Aurelius lived under pressure most of us can't imagine, yet even as an emperor, he made time for daily rituals, habits that grounded him and prepared him for the challenges ahead. He woke early, not because he had to, but because he wanted to begin with intention. He journaled to reflect, to align with his values, to prepare mentally and spiritually for the day. His mornings weren't governed by strict schedules, but by a sense of purpose. This idea, well begun is half done, has endured across centuries for a reason. It's not just a motivational phrase, it's practical wisdom. When we start something with clarity and presence, we set the tone for everything that follows. This applies to our days, our projects, our goals, and our relationships. Whether you're tackling a task or trying to change your life, don't underestimate the power of how you begin. When we start from a place of focus and alignment, momentum builds naturally. Aristotle understood this well. He believed that our habits define our character. The first step of any task isn't just about that task. It's about shaping who we are. When we begin with purpose, we reinforce that identity. He once said that excellence isn't a one-time act, it's a habit. When we start our mornings with intention and routines that reflect a dedication to our highest standards, we're not just preparing for the day, we're shaping the very habits that define a meaningful life. True greatness doesn't emerge from grand gestures, but from the small, consistent choices we make every single day. Plato spoke of the world of forms where the ideal version of everything exists: beauty, justice, even the self. While we may never fully reach those ideals, the journey toward them draws out the best in us. Setting a clear intention each morning is a way of orienting ourselves toward that ideal, committing to become, little by little, the best version of who we could be. When we embrace the day with purpose, we reclaim agency. We set a tone that echoes through our actions. We remember what truly matters, and we align our choices with our deepest values and goals. Lesson 6. Be strict with yourself. The path of self-improvement requires a delicate dance between inner discipline and outward compassion. Marcus Aurelius, a master of Stoic thought, captured this balance beautifully. Be kind to others, but firm with yourself. This philosophy of self-discipline calls us to be accountable, to own our thoughts, our growth, our behavior. It's not about holding others to our standards. It's about setting high standards for ourselves and pursuing them relentlessly. The journey is personal. It's a quiet commitment to self-mastery, self-control, and continuous development. But discipline doesn't mean harshness. It isn't about punishing ourselves for every misstep. Rather, it's about recognizing our capacity to grow and nudging ourselves daily toward that potential. Marcus Aurelius lived this. His meditations reveal a man constantly examining himself, striving for virtue, wisdom, and resilience. True change starts from within. We have the power to shape our thoughts, cultivate inner peace, and grow stronger, not through force, but through discipline and deliberate action. Aristotle, too, spoke of excellence not as a gift, but as a habit developed through consistent action. Virtue, he taught, lies in balance, not in extremes. This applies to discipline as well. It's about finding the middle path between indulgence and rigidity. It's the ongoing process of pushing ourselves to grow while honoring our boundaries and capacities. To be strict with oneself isn't to live in constant denial or sacrifice. It's about maintaining integrity. It's about making choices that reflect our highest values, even when they're hard. It's about keeping our commitments to ourselves. At the same time, Marcus reminds us, be gentle with others. Everyone walks a different path. Everyone carries burdens we can't see. When we allow people the space to grow at their own pace, without judgment, we foster not just discipline in ourselves, but compassion for the human experience. Lesson 7. Don't resent people. In life, we will encounter people who frustrate us, disappoint us, or even hurt us. That's inevitable. But how we respond, that's within our control. Marcus Aurelius offered a radical idea. See difficult people not as threats, but as opportunities, chances to practice patience, kindness, and inner strength. This shift in mindset turns external challenges into internal growth. It's not about ignoring wrongdoings or tolerating mistreatment. It's about choosing our response with intention. It's about rising above emotional reactivity and acting in alignment with our values. Stoicism teaches that our peace is not dictated by the actions of others. We cannot control what people do, but we can control how we react. And in that space lies our freedom. When someone tests your patience, that moment becomes a mirror, an invitation to grow, to become stronger, more grounded, more compassionate. Carl Jung introduced the idea of the shadow self. that the traits we resent in others often reflect parts of ourselves we haven't accepted. Difficult people then can become unexpected teachers. They shine a light on our own growth areas. They help us face ourselves with honesty. So instead of holding on to resentment, we can choose reflection. We can use each interaction, especially the tough ones, as a lesson in virtue, in humility, in grace. Marcus Aurelius's philosophy challenges us to rise above the impulse for bitterness. Instead, we're encouraged to respond with wisdom and integrity. This doesn't just improve our relationships, it transforms our lives. A life without resentment is lighter, freer. It allows space for clarity, peace, and meaningful connection. It empowers us to cultivate character, not chaos. Lesson 8. Ask yourself, is this essential? In a world moving at lightning speed, filled with distractions, notifications, and endless demands, this simple question from Marcus Aurelius becomes more than just relevant. It becomes crucial. It invites us to stop, reflect, and separate what truly matters from what doesn't. Marcus believed in focusing on what's essential, not letting life be dictated by the noise outside, but instead led by our inner compass, our values, our principles. This Stoic mindset, prioritizing what truly matters, is a powerful way to navigate the chaos of modern life. And it's not just Stoicism. Throughout history, great thinkers have echoed this same wisdom. Aristotle spoke of the golden mean, the sweet spot between excess and deficiency. Applied to life today, it means choosing balance, not overloading ourselves with commitments, but also not drifting aimlessly. It means intentionally choosing the essential for our growth and well-being. Plato urged us to seek the good, the true, and the beautiful. When we ask, is this essential? We realign ourselves with those timeless ideals. Our choices begin to reflect a deeper purpose, one grounded in wisdom, virtue, and beauty. Carl Jung talked about individuation, the journey of becoming our true selves. And that journey begins when we let go of the non-essential, the roles, the expectations, the distractions. What's left is us, authentic, clear, and centered. Lesson 9. Remember these mantras. Amor fati, the love of fate. It's the idea of embracing everything life throws at us, not just accepting it, but welcoming it with open arms, the good and the bad, the easy and the difficult. Instead of resisting life's hardships, we grow by loving them, seeing them as essential parts of our path. Marcus Aurelius, a man who faced enormous trials, lived this truth. He didn't just endure his circumstances, he transformed them into strength. This mindset finds echoes in Aristotle too, who taught that happiness doesn't depend on having ideal conditions, but on how we live within the conditions we're given. Virtue, not circumstance, is the key. The Stoics also remind us that we are social beings. Our well-being is tied to the well-being of those around us. So focusing on the common good isn't just moral, it's natural. It's a call to live ethically, to contribute, to consider how our actions ripple out into the world. Plato dreamed of an ideal society, one where each person contributes their part for the greater good. That vision still resonates today. Fulfillment doesn't come from self-centered pursuits, but from living in service of something larger than ourselves. and perhaps the most sobering yet empowering Stoic principle. Memento mori, remember you will die. It's not about being morbid, it's about living deeply. When we reflect on our mortality, we're reminded to let go of the trivial, to cherish the present, and to focus on what truly matters. Socrates once said that the unexamined life is not worth living. Awareness of our limited time gives our lives meaning, urgency, and depth. Integrating these Stoic principles into daily life helps us live with more purpose, more clarity, and more joy. Amor Fati teaches us to welcome life just as it is, to grow from every experience. Contributing to the common good connects our personal happiness to the well-being of others. Memento mori grounds us in the present, reminding us to live, love, and act intentionally. So as we walk through life, with all its challenges and its beauty, let's do more than just exist. Let's truly live. Let's bring the wisdom of the past into the present and build a future filled with purpose. If this message resonated with you, don't stop here. Check out the recommended videos on screen and keep walking this path of wisdom, resilience, and fulfillment. Together, let's live guided by the timeless strength of Stoic philosophy. Thank you for being here with us at Stoic Philosophy Daily. And until next time, keep building your inner fortress.